I'm Rob Hislop. You're, of course, watching ICANN Media. We're coming to you from the Global Petroleum Show in Calgary. We're outside at one of the many exhibits, but perhaps the most, I guess, impressive exhibit they've got on the exterior here of the trade show. And joining us right now is Steve Parsons, and you're with Groundforce Drilling, sales manager. Tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here, Steve.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate you being here. You're looking at Groundforce 14. It's our newest, latest, greatest slant drilling rig. It's got a 200,000-pound hook load. It's capable of almost 3,000 meters of depth. Over here to the right, we've got the telemast derrick mast. So it hydraulically, the cylinders lift it up, and we can pull the pipe and all of our bits and run everything down on a 45-degree angle into the ground. It allows us easy access to our horizontal drilling.
So how does this differ then from standard drilling and what's being done out there mainly now in the industry?
Sure, like with traditional vertical drilling, with those shallow resource pools, the pay zones, getting that build point and getting into that zone can be quite finicky if you're not careful, and you can be in and out of the zone, and you can lose a lot of opportunity. What we're able to do now is hit that ground at 45 degrees and slide right into that pay zone and capture that whole reservoir for optimal capture for the customer.
You know, you're hearing a lot during these economic times with the price of oil so low that this is a time where new technology has a chance to prove itself. Is that what this drilling rig is set to do?
That's what we're counting on. You know, we believe with the safety components in place, you know, with the concealed floor, with the hydraulic ram on the load safe, with the self-leveling, with the floor, the way it's designed to set to different degrees of height, so we can work safely and optimally underneath this floor we're on. The BOP handling system is an oversized system with hydraulic rams in there as well to handle that, and it really reduces the opportunity for any kind of pinching, dropping. It's a little less cumbersome and much more spacious, and it lets our workers be much more efficient, really. You know, they're not climbing in and around too much. They're working freely with both hands, with good balance and vision and sight lines, and it really makes a big difference for our guys, and not only the safety of our guys, but recruiting people too. I think good workers want to work on new equipment and safe equipment, and it helps us with recruiting good people.
Well, part of the challenge too now, I guess, is that so many people are being laid off. When it comes time to restocking the manpower side, you're going to be getting a lot of new people coming in as well. So obviously having equipment that is just safer makes sense.
Well, and I think there's such an awareness for safety now too. You know, right from the top, it's not something that's just spoken about and not observed anymore. It's regarded, considered, and reviewed on a daily basis in our operation, at least. And I would suggest most companies have the same practices. So to work with the major companies that are still moving ahead with their operations, you need to have a very strong safety culture, and you need to be ready to go with your crews. You know, we do competency training before we even leave for jobs. We'll do work in our yard to make sure our guys and our equipment's ready to go. So it really improves our efficiencies at the field level. So when guys come in, they're not hitting a rig cold, they hit it kind of ground running.
Now, you talk about how the industry is more geared towards safety, and I've been hearing that for a number of years now as well. But is it still difficult sometimes to explain to a buyer the importance of this rig? Yes, it may cost a little bit more, it may have these extra features, but you'll save when it comes to money down the long road, you'll save when it comes to man hours. Is that a difficult sell sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, it's never easy, but I always come back to the old tagline that is, price is what you pay and value is what you get. And I think the customers, if they look at the life cycle of an operation like Groundforce Drillings, they see the value, the inherent value, the safety culture, the leadership, and then therein the efficiencies that come with it. You know, we take the precautions to make sure that all of our men and all of our equipment is properly provided and trained and inspected and ready to go. And we think that's going to translate into more efficient work. You know, I think the front end of that might be a little more lengthy, but we believe the back end is much more efficient.
What's the impact on the environment? Because of course that's another hot topic these days, to have a rig like this as opposed to one of the traditional ones.
Well, I mean, something case in point would be just the caps on our mud tanks over here. You know, that allows us to drill with invert mud, and there's no splash or kickoff onto the ground or the soil. That reduces our contaminants. We've got all sorts of catch trays and basins underneath. The entire rig has got a catch basin underneath of it. So even if we do blow a hydraulic line, which can happen in inclement weather, you know, we've got provisions there to capture that and treat that. So, you know, those are the kinds of things that might cost a few extra bucks on the build, but they save us a lot of money in the long run.
Steve, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Rob.
We've been chatting with Steve Parsons, a sales manager with Groundforce Drilling.